Her story's turning into gold. She's taking her power back. Yeah, she's on the rise. Strength in her soul, fire in her eyes. Keeping God first, watch her dreams unfold. Her life's a diamond, breaking the mold. Oh, she's taking her power back. Yeah, she's taking her power back. Harmony.
Welcome back to 20 Minutes of Simple Notes from Rita. I am back with another episode. And today's topic is going to be similar to the vein that we were talking about last episode when it came to giving yourself grace. But we're also going to talk about confidence. And I want to talk to us about that because sometimes we go through life and things gradually chip away at our confidence. And I can speak from personal experience. And some of these show topics, or especially as of lately, are things that have shaped me or things that have happened over a period of time that I've had to work through. With a little transparency, have had to work through with therapy in some areas, things that have happened that actually gradually over a period of time had chipped away at my confidence. Sometimes those things were intentional, and sometimes those things weren't necessarily intentional. And there are things that have chipped away from workspace, um, honestly, from just society, from ministry standpoint, from different areas. And you don't always realize it in the moment that things are happening, and it's gradually causing you not to be as confident in your abilities, in your skills, and what you're able to do sometimes until down the road. Down the road. And one of the reasons I wanted to really talk about in the last couple of episodes about giving yourself grace and not always having to have everything figured out, as well as being perfectly imperfect, is to help encourage you, especially you young ladies and young men as well, for those that are watching, to work as you go through life, to be intentional and being more aware of people that are in your circle, things that you're allowing to come into your life, and what you're feeding yourself, what you're allowing to be fed to you, and what you actually are speaking over yourself. Because if you don't watch it, if you don't have a good relationship with you, if you don't stay, really honestly, stay in the face of God, if you don't realize who you are, things in life will be lifing, and things that happen throughout life can gradually chip away at your confidence to where you retreat. You don't show up like you used to show up. You don't show up like you could show up. You don't want to do anything really that you have done before. I remember when doing my stage plays. I love doing productions. I feel like that's part of what God has called me to do. But I remember back in 2019, my God, one show we did, and I was like, it just was not what I felt like it should have been. And because of that, I retreated. It did not turn out from a production standpoint, numerically, whether it was audience, finances. And as an executive producer, a lot of times we see a lot of things that people on the front end don't see. A lot of things that go on as executive producing, whether it's a show, whether it's a stage play, a movie, a podcast, or a weekly show, whatever it is, there are expenses and things that go on behind the scenes that your cast don't know about, that your crew don't know about, that your staff doesn't know about, and different other things that come into play when it comes to producing anything, whether it's this weekly show that I have now on YouTube, or whether it was the KVR and Global Radio show that I used to do. Whatever it was different things that happen behind the scenes that actually help us bring you the material and the content that we were able to bring. So I remember after that particular show just being like, I think devastated. And it was because the perfectionist in me. And being a perfectionist, sometimes it's good to be that to a certain extent, because everything you do, you should do it from a place of excellence. You should give it your best. But when you do it from a place of perfectionism, like everything has to be in order, every I has to be dotted, every T has to be crossed. When you do it, and when a T is not crossed, when an I is not dotted, it's like you can't hardly deal with that, because it's like you lose a sense of control, or you lose uh, your reality is not the reality that actually is. So confidence can gradually diminish if you don't constantly work on it and be intentional about working on it. So after that show, and it wasn't just that show, I think over a period of time, and then as the years went on with different things, being in certain workplaces and being in corporate America and all of these different things, you can actually you sit back and you was like, oh, what happened? And I remember having that conversation with myself, like, what happened? I felt like I was in a box and it was taped and I just could not get out. The creativity was not flowing as it used to flow. Scripts wasn't coming. Couldn't even really push out a book like I used to. It's like everything was just stagnant, as if somebody had just taken every piece of my creativity and placed it in a box. The confidence, placed it in a box and taped it. Now, was I functioning? Absolutely. I kept going to work, kept working in ministry, kept doing all of these different things. But at the same time, in my head, I'm screaming like, somebody help me. I don't feel like I can do it. People would ask me about doing shows. When are you going to do another play? When are you going to do a book? Or when are you going to do this and that and the other? And although I may say, I plan on doing one. And part of me will be excited for a few minutes. But then when I get home or later, it's just like, how do I start? How do I get out of this box? How do I even it's like I want to start. I want to do it. And I got to a point where I feel like I can't even cast anymore. I don't even know if I know how to cast. And I'm like, the devil is a lie. I do know how to cast. I know how to pick talent. I know how to write a script. And the best way to beat it is to get back out there and do it. Also, realizing that sometimes in order to get back into a good place with your confidence and build your confidence, you need people to actually push it out of you, that can actually see it and pull it out of you. And if that looks like going to therapy, by all means, do it. And I am so grateful for my therapist that I say God put in my life to help me get to where I am today. And we look for healing, and we look for deliverance, and we look for so many things. We look for God to do so many things, and he does those things. But oftentimes what we miss, sometimes those ways, the ways of freedom, the way of being healed, the way of getting past a certain point in life, it comes through people that he places in your path. And sometimes we miss it because we think he's just going to fall down and sit on our lap and do it. No, you have to be open and ask for help and receive the help. And sometimes the help is in therapy. It can be in a session, a group with people, or it can be around a certain group of friends. But mine came through, part of my help that God sent was through my therapist. And in those moments where I felt like I had lost confidence, she helped me unveil some things. And it helped build confidence back up. The momentum came, the creativity came, and I'm like, God, thank you. But to be honest, I wasn't looking for help in that way. I really wasn't. I thought it was going to be this big old boom. He's going to come down from the sky. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. I wasn't looking. But then one day I remember being in prayer, and it was like, you need to call a therapist, because I was spiraling. And this is really being transparent. And that's why sometimes when you meet people, you don't know what battle they're battling. You don't know what they're dealing with. Sometimes people are able to function well from a place of depression. They're able to function well from a place of very low self-esteem and a loss of confidence. And because you see them functioning, don't necessarily mean that they're at their A game, that they're well. So we have to be kind and gentle and genuine with each other, loving one another, building one another up, being supportive and not jealous of one another, being there for people when they're on the mountain, when they're on the lowest point of their lives, helping them get back to a place of, girl, you got it. You can do it. I've seen you do it. You can do it. What can I do to help you? So if it comes through therapy, go to therapy so you can get back to a place of being that confident woman you are. Confidence has an aroma. It has a scent to it, if you will. People recognize a person with confidence. You can actually, a confident woman, when she enters a room, can actually shift a room. And not from a place of arrogance or being prideful, but you're confident in your abilities, what God has put in you. You're confident in the giftings that He's placed on the inside of you. And you're confident in knowing that He has your back. Favor looks good on you. And favor shines even brighter when you are operating from a place of confidence and you know that you are on the stage because that's where you're supposed to be. You're in the room at the boardroom tables because that's where you're supposed to be. You're making executive decisions because that's what you're supposed to do. You're signing checks and paying cast members or paying your staff because that's what you're able and capable of doing because God has blessed you to be able to do that. And you're confident in that. And in doing those things, you're solving a problem in the world. You're the answer to some people's questions, to some people's problems. You're the solution that God has sent. But what I found, the enemy wants to come in and cause us to retreat and lose who we are and lose our confidence. And like that box I was talking about, I felt like I was boxed in, literally, like it was that I think it's that duct tape they call it. It's like this silver tape. I used to see my dad work with it. He would tape up lamps and stuff. But it's that thick, heavy-duty tape on the top of a box, like when you're moving to make sure your dishes or whatever don't fall out. It was like that, like screaming, somebody please peel the tape back. I want to do it. I feel like I can do it. But then when I have this moment of excitement, it's only there for a minute and it's gone. Loss of confidence. Loss of being confident in what you're able to do. And sometimes you have to reflect on what you've been blessed to do in the past. So I want to encourage you, if you're a person that you're struggling in your area and you're struggling with your confidence, you know it, you feel like you're not as confident as you used to be, you're not alone. I've been there and I'm still building. I'm still building my confidence back up. And it's amazing because God will place you in positions where you're stretched and you're in a place where you're not comfortable. He takes you out of a place of comfort and place you in what seems to be to you uncomfortable places and spaces to help build your confidence. And it's not that you're trying to take His credit or glory, but He's showing you it was in you the whole time. You have allowed people to talk you down from where He had you. You have allowed false realities or your own expectations not being the reality at that moment cause you to retreat and go into a box instead of getting up and trying again. Instead of maybe finding, okay, how can I hone my craft? YouTube videos. I try to go to any sessions I can, whether it's YouTube or actually in-person sessions. If it's something that's going to help me with my craft, I have no questions going in a room trying to learn. But I'm learning every day that if God opened the door, that I belong in the room. I'm supposed to be there, regardless of who don't want me there. If He placed a chair for me at the table and I know He did it, then why am I going to close that door? That I'm supposed to be in that room. And gradually you get back to the confident person that you once were. I remember my first show that we did. I had no money. We had no money. Zero. All I had was a dream and a script and cast members that were crazy enough to roll with me. And God blessed us to sell out the theater. Actually, they had to pull out more chairs and every bill was paid. That was faith, and that was confidence in what God had gifted me to be able to do. And that's what's going to help you mount areas and stages and rooms and be in positions that fear won't allow you to experience. Fear will keep you bound and it will keep you trapped. Fear will tell you you can't. But faith says try it. Why? Because we walk by faith and not by sight. So that day in the monument room at I think it was the campus of San Jacinto College, in that theater room, it was faith, determination, and confident that I could do it, because I felt like God wanted me to do it, and I had a vision. And I always say, if it's here in my head, if he gives it to me, then I can actually see it. It's supposed to be manifested. So that day in that room, we did it on faith, because we didn't have no money. It wasn't no money, but money came. But faith had to lead the way, and confidence. I was confident that we could get it done. And because of the faith and the confidence, we were able to do it. And that's how I've been able to do some of the things that we've been able to do. When I look back over my life and I see some of the things that he's blessed me to be able to accomplish, it was nobody but him. But it was also because I believed in myself, and I believed I could do it. So as you go through life, you will encounter things. I'm telling you, you will encounter people that have low self-esteem. They don't like themselves, so they don't want you to like yourself. So they'll do things to try to make you doubt who you are and doubt your abilities and doubt your skill set. Those are not the people you want in your circle. Quickly get away from those people and find your crew. Find people that will speak life into you, that will speak and edify you, that will build you up, that will correct you in love, that you can glean from. Find a mentor. And sometimes all of your mentors may not be in the same city. They may not be where you can actually touch them. Sometimes it may be people that you are admiring from a distance. You're studying, you're learning from them. But even in that, don't lose yourself. You still have to be the person that you were created to be to fulfill your purpose. But you can actually learn and glean from those people. So find a mentor. And that mentor is someone that is at a place where you want to be, not necessarily at the level that you are, because that's going to challenge you to climb, to work harder, to progress, to do what you need to do to get to the level that you see yourself at. But it starts with confidence. You got to believe that you can do it. And if you've lost your confidence, don't feel bad. Work to get it back. Find a therapist. Pray. Find people that'll speak into you until you gradually get back to that place of being that confident person that you once were. I would just, whatever. If the vision came, it was like, whatever. I remember my first show, I was taking furniture out of people's homes. We didn't have stuff for a set, but I knew the vision. It was there. I had a vision. And I felt like if it was there, it's supposed to manifest. So I pray that you get your confidence back. If you've lost it, you're not alone. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in the gifts that God has placed inside of you. And there are people in this world that's waiting for you to get on the stage, to get behind the screen, whatever that looks like, whatever you're supposed to be doing. It's someone out there that's waiting for you to do it. Don't wait for the validation of people or the approval of people. All you need is that one yes from God. Faith, determination, and confidence. And as you go, he will place people in your path to help you fulfill your goal, that purpose, and your destiny. This has been 20 minutes of Simple Notes from Rita. Be blessed.
Oh, she's taking up power.